Hello everybody and welcome on board the interior of this 1980 Westerly Konsort for a look around her interior, and I hope to show you in some detail what's fitted, where it is, how her layout is, etc., and talk about a few features, and maybe you can decide if she might be a yacht for you. So I'm sitting in the port forward corner of the saloon feeling very comfortable and relaxed, because that's the kind of feeling this boat gives me. We've got plenty of wood, we've got light stuff up here, we've got windows, we've got the companionway open, just feeling nice. Smells nice as well, and we've got a really good head height down here as well, so also plenty of room, and I'll explain why in a moment. So we come in through the companionway here, very nice and wide, nice and easy to get down, not least because we've got a very tall spray hood, which means we don't have to duck down too much as we get in, and then we're down onto the engine cover and into the saloon. So we'll start by taking a look at that, shall we? So again, this is nice and wide, nice and stable. We can sit on it, we can stand on it, and if we want to, we can check the engine by lifting the lid here. There we go, we've got the Buck DV20 in there with all its bits and pieces. Nice and easy to check, so just once an hour at sea, we can lift that up, have a quick look, put the lid back down, and the companionway's only out of action for a few seconds. This section here also lifts as well. We can see behind the engine, we can see the gearbox, we can see the stern gland, we can see the bilge, etc, etc. Then also, if you want access to the front of the engine, then we can just take this whole hatch off here, just unlatch on that bolt there, and we can see the flywheel, we can see the saltwater pump plate to take off and check the impeller, and also where the hand start is too. And I think we get access to the starboard side of the powertrain through the cockpit locker as well, but that just needs to be confirmed. Anyway, once we're down here, we're great. It smells good. She feels nice and dry. Lots of headroom. You can see she's of a certain age. You know, there's wear and tear on this boat, but there are also really nice bits. So she's been added to, improved over the years, but some of the kind of vintage wear is still left there, which I actually quite like. But I would say that. So on the right-hand side here, so starboard aft in the saloon, we've got the galley. So we've got a nice sink unit here, very close, really easy to pass the dirties down and the tea up, etc. But also nice and easy to pass it forward to the saloon table. Very good. Under here we've got a non-powered cool box there, so that could be more stowage, but keeping things cool overnight. We've got cup holders. We've got plate holders, etc. We do have a nice deep cupboard behind here. There are nice deep cupboards all over this boat, actually, everybody. She's very good. On the top of the cooker, we've got a bit more work surface there. And underneath, we've got two burners. We have a grill here, and we have an oven. And look how nice and clean it is. I don't think that's been used many times at all. A couple of drawers on the right-hand side there for cutlery, etc. But as the galley's in the corner, nice and easy to get at. Not really easy to brace yourself against much. You'll be holding onto this, etc. But it's very, very practical and a nice height as well, I have to say. It's not too low. Very good indeed. Right then, let's look up first before we look anywhere else. So you can see we've got windows. We've got two port, two starboard. We've got the vinyl headlining, and yes, we do have the sag. But actually, if it's sagging like that, who cares? I mean, if it's sagging and falling down, we need to fix it, but actually I think I would leave this well alone unless I wanted to undertake a bigger job. We'll see elsewhere there is a headlining that is sagging and does need to be sorted out. But in this compartment, you can see we've got the really nice wood-lined hull here. Lovely, great big fiddle shelves behind that. Sorry, in front of that. And here on the starboard side, we've got a nice bunk stroke berth, probably quite a short berth, but looks very comfy nevertheless. And I think this must be recent upholstery as well. We've got lots of storage behind, we've got lots of storage underneath as well, which is really good. And then looking down at the floor, we've got the nice flooring as well, which I really like. So that's why this boat does feel like she has got a little bit of class. Very nice indeed. And we have got, if I just turn to look, tons and tons of room in here. We could have a party in here, we could have a dance party if we wanted, and that's mainly because we've got no saloon table here, but we do have a saloon table here. So this just folds down, opens out, and if you look at the photos elsewhere in the advert, you'll see that you do have a lovely, great big saloon table with ample dining for at least 4 people. Absolutely great, lovely idea, and I think more manufacturers should think about looking into that. Down at the floor again, you can see we've got nice big plates here. There's good access to the keel bolts and the bilge here and the bilge pump suction, which is great. And that carries on forwards into the forward cabin where we're going now. So we've got a small lobby here, as you can see in this area here. To the right hand side here, we've got a very nice big hanging locker. So room for your wellies, room for your life jackets, your foulies, and maybe anything else you want to hang up. Now here you can see where the headlining does need attention, so that needs something doing to it. Personally, I would probably cut it off and cap it off there somewhere. But yeah, if you want to make her look really, really pretty, something you might want to think about. And then moving into the forward cabin, you can see really nice sized actually, and the head height stays quite good too. We've got a hatch in the deck head. We've got this wood effect around here. Well, it's not wood effect, it is wood there. I think that's holding the headlining up. Headlining does look a bit lumpy and bumpy down here, so there's a bit of work to be done there. On the outboard side of the bunks, we've got fiddle shelves, and you can see the lined hull does continue, which is a really nice feature. And we've got the very, very nice and rather large looking V-berth there. I think somebody's gone and made, this is either foam or it's a mattress that's been made to measure, just to make it really, really nice and comfy in the V-berth. So I wish I had that on Moody Blue. There is storage underneath. I don't think, I've not seen an infill here, but if you didn't have an infill, really nice and easy to make one, then you would have a massive, great big bed. And with this door closed here, you would have a lovely, great big lobby to get changed in private or a bigger cabin. Lovely. Right then, so let's go into the cabin. And I'll just turn around and we'll open this door and then we'll close it there. So if we latch it back there, we now have an ensuite for the forward cabin that's separate from the rest of the boat, which is really nice and handy. And as you can see, quite a nice little compartment actually, nice and clean from what I can see. We've got the toilet pump here, we've got a single manual head there, and just looking up we can see this is a sink unit. So if you look in the photos again, this just pulls forward over the head, so you need to do your business, then pull the sink out, then you can wash your hands, and away it goes. And then behind and above you can see we've got a lovely great big deep locker and a window as well that does open, which obviously has its advantages in a compartment such as this. Very good. Right then, let's open the door and close it again in that position. Almost Jack and Jill effect in a way, but not quite. So let's go back into the saloon. On the port side, another nice berth, a little bit longer I think, and I do believe subject to confirmation, this lot all just pull out and gives us a nice double bed to give us that extra little bit of accommodation, but we'll need to check into that. On the forward bulkhead, as I mentioned, we have got the saloon table, we have got clock and barometer, etc. I'm just noticing we've got some of these nice LED lighting around here as well. I expect that probably looks quite nice at night, and we'll be saving you battery power as well. Lovely great big shelves behind, again really deep fiddles. You can see chain plates coming through here, which is great to see. And again behind the cushions here, you've got masses of stowage. We've got masses of stowage underneath as well, so all your bits and bobs can go away. It is a nice compartment down here, I do like it. Anyway, moving forwards, just to talk about safety at sea, what have we got? So as we go up the companionway, we've got this to hold on. Obviously, we've got all the edges, etc. Down here, not a great deal. We've got a handle here and one over on the starboard side too. And then that's it until we get forwards to this forward bulkhead here and the compression post. Perhaps we can grab on here. But so there are things to grab hold of, but she's not completely kitted out with handles everywhere like we're seeing on a lot of boats these days. But maybe you wouldn't be doing that kind of by the seat of your pants sailing anyway on this sort of boat. Anyway, let's move back after for the last part of the tour. So as you can see here, we've got what would be a nav station here. Underneath we've got an actual powered cool box and I think that's either an oil filled or just an electric radiator. Somewhere to do your chart work, and we've got the electrics panel here, all your switches, etc, etc, bilge pump. That's an electronic compass, and we've got the VHF there, a DSC unit. That all folds down quite nicely actually to give you access to the electrics behind there. And then just looking down here, you can see what on Moody Blue we'd call a 1.5 berth, which I think that is really. You could squeeze 2 adults in there if you really pushed it, I think. But other than that, we've got the batteries underneath, nice and wide, very nice and long. There's ample room for stowaways down there, somewhere to chuck all your big bags, etc, etc. And then we finish off by another little electrical panel extension there. So this has been Tim from Boatshed Yacht Brokers, just taking you for a quick tour around the interior of this Westerly Konsort from 1980. Hope you've got a feeling as to what it's like to be here, and more than anything, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Take care.